Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to Dr. LK's English class. Today I'd like to teach modal auxiliaries. What are modal auxiliaries? Modal auxiliaries are special type of verbs. They show the mood of the speaker. And modal auxiliaries, they mostly accompany the verbs. What are modal auxiliaries? Modal auxiliaries are special type of verbs. They are also one kind of verbs. We have auxiliaries. We have helping verbs like am, is, or, do, does, have, has, etc. Similarly, we have modal auxiliaries. They are special type of verbs which express the mood of the speaker. That is why they are called modals. Modals express the mood of the speaker and they mostly accompany the main verbs. Now, you can have a look at all the modals: can, could, will, would, shall, should, may, might, must, ought to, used to, need, dare. All these 13 are modal auxiliaries. Let us go one by one. Dear viewers, if you want to learn this kind of things, comparative approach is always better. If you want to learn this kind of things, comparative approach is better. You can easily remember these models. Some models they are similar, some they are dissimilar. So when we go this way, that will help you better and you can remember forever. So let us go pairwise. Now first we'll discuss can and could. Can is used to express ability. Can is used to express ability in the present. Could is used to express ability in the past. For example, I can jump over the wall. I can dance. I can run. I can sing. I can eat. I can talk. I can walk. This can is used to express ability in the present. Could is used to express ability in the past. I wanted to jump over a wall. I tried. I fell down. So I say, I could not jump over that wall. I tried to do, but I failed. So could is used to express ability in the past. Can is used to express ability in the present. Hope you got the difference between can and could in respect of ability. Now the next one, can is used to seek permission. Can I speak to him? Can is used to seek permission. Can I speak to him? Can I take your mobile? Can I use your mobile? Can I take your bike? Can I use your bike? Etc. Could is also used to seek permission and could is more polite than can. Could is more polite than can. Could I use your bike? When you speak to your officers, your superiors, if you use could, that is more suitable, more polite. Now can is used to make a polite request. Can you help me? You want to do something in which you want somebody's help. So you can use can by asking this way, can you help me? Could you please bring a glass of water? Could is used to make a polite request and it is the most polite one. Please remember, could is used to make a polite request and it is the most polite one. Could you please bring a glass of water? And can is used to express possibility. Can is used to express possibility. Example, he can come here tomorrow. He can come here tomorrow. It is possible that he can come to this place tomorrow. And could is also used to express possibility, but in the past. For example, if he had a degree, he could apply for it. If he had a degree, he could apply for it. He did not have degree and he could not apply for it. Hope you got it. And could is used in indirect speech. When there is can in direct speech, that will be changed into could in indirect speech or in reported speech. For example, she told me that she could not attend. Imagine, she says like this. She said to me, imagine in direct speech this sentence. She said to me, I cannot attend. So the same thing we are changing it into indirect speech this way. She told me that she could not attend. Hope you got where we use can, where we use could. Then next, may and might. May is used to express possibility. Example, the sky is full of clouds, it may rain. The sky is full of clouds, it may rain. There is possibility of rain. There are more chances for rain, more possibility. And might is also used to express possibility, but more doubtful possibility. Please remember, may is used to express possibility, more possibility, and might is used to express more doubtful possibility. For example, the clouds departed, it might rain now. The clouds have been departed, now the sky is clear. So there is no chance of rain. It might rain now. So more doubtful possibility. Chances are very less to happen. Here chances are more to happen. May is used to seek permission. It is more formal. May use our mobile, may use our car, may use our bike, may use our computer, may use our laptop, etc. Might is also used to seek permission. Rarely we use. Might I use our car? Example. But may is more formal. And coming to the third use, may is used to express purpose. Example, eat well that you may live. Eat well that you may live. You must eat something, otherwise you will die. So there is a purpose of eating. There is a purpose behind eating. Eat well that you may live. You may survive, otherwise your survival is doubtful. You might go there a little early. This is a gentle reproach. Reproach means a blame, a scolding. Imagine somebody went late. So you will say like this, you might go there a little early, like you would have gone early. You are late. You are blaming somebody. And the next usage is, it is used to wish, may you live long, may God bless you. May is used to wish. And might is used in indirect speech. Might is used in indirect speech. If may is there in direct speech, that will be changed into indirect speech when you convert it into indirect speech. For example, John said that he might apply for a new job. Imagine John said like this, I may apply for a new job. So that you are converting into reporter speech this way. John said that he might apply for a new job. Hope you got where we use may and where we use might. The next one, will and shall. Viewers, these two are very important and there are chances of confusion. Please listen to this carefully. Otherwise there are chances of confusion. You may get confused. Will and shall. Will is used to convey the simple futurity. Will is used to express simple futurity with second and third persons. Shall is used to express simple futurity with first person. I and we. With first person I and we use shall to express simple futurity. With second and third persons, you, he, she, it, they, we use will to express simple futurity. Hope you got. For example, she will buy a car next year. She will buy a car next year. I shall visit Delhi next week. I shall visit Delhi next week. So here I is first person, so we are using shall because it talks about the simple future action, the action which is yet to take place, the action that you are going to do in future. So with I, first person, you are using shall. Here with second and third person, she is third person singular, so we are using will. She will buy a car next year. She will do it next year. It refers to future. Will is used to express the following: promise, threat, determination, willingness. Will is used to express promise, threat, determination, willingness with first person. Please listen to this carefully. Will is used to express promise, threat, determination, willingness with first person. Shall is used to express these three: promise, threat and determination with second and third persons. For example, I will help you in doing homework. I will marry you. I will give you money. I will show you my answer copy in the exam. Don't worry, you are making a promise. Will is used to make a promise with first person. Here you are making a promise. Here it is second person. You shall get a prize if you do it. You shall get a prize if you do it. You are making a promise. Here you is second person. So you are using shall. Threat. I will kick you. I will beat you. I will thrash you. I will see your end. You are threatening someone. I is first person. So we use will with first person I. Here shall is used with second person. You shall be fined. You shall be fined. You are threatening. You are warning somebody. Determination. I will study hard and get first rank. First person I. We are using will. I study hard and get first rank. You shall do whatever I say. Means you shall do whatever I am determined. You shall do whatever I say. Means the speaker is determined that someone should do whatever he says. You shall do whatever I say. It is used to express willingness. I will go with my friends. I will not go with my parents. I will go with my friends. Here the speaker, first person I, is willing to go with his friends. He is expressing his willingness. Here with shall you cannot use to express willingness. The next one is will is used to make a request. Will you have a cup of tea? Will you come with me? And shall I come with you? Here you are asking permission. Shall I come with you? Means am I permitted to come with you? Shall I come with you? Will is used to express probability. I think he will be an expert in that field. I think he will be an expert in that particular field. Shall is used to express, convey suggestion. Shall we go to a hotel? Shall we go to a hotel? You are making a suggestion here. Hope you got both will and shall. So shall we move to the next one? Now should and would. Whenever shall comes in direct speech, that will be converted into should. Whenever will comes in direct speech, that will be converted into would in indirect speech. So the first one is the same one. He said that he should go next week. He said that he should go next week. For example, he says like this. He said, I shall go next week. So that shall will be changed into should. He said that he should go next week. She told me that she would see him. She told me that she would see him. Imagine, she says like this to me. She said to me, I will see him. She told me that she would see him in reported speech, in indirect speech. Now the next one is, should is used to express unreal condition, unreal, imaginary condition. It won't happen. If I were you, I should marry her. If I were you, I should marry her. Here, would is used to express the same unreal condition. If I were a bird, I would fly. If I were the manager, I would give you a job. If I were the king, I would make you queen. I'm not king, so I can't make you queen. So it is used to convey such unreal conditions, imaginary conditions. And should is used to express likelihood. He should be there by now. He should be there by now. By the time you are expected there. By the time you are expecting him there. So it expresses likelihood. And would is used to make a polite request. Would you please drop me there? Should is used to make an obligation. Obligation means duty. You should pay tax without fail. When you earn something, you should pay tax. It is your duty. So it expresses obligation or duty. You should pay tax without fail. Would is used to make a preference, a choice. I would rather die than marry her. I would prefer coffee to tea. So it is used to make a preference, a choice. The next one, it is used to, should is used to express a desire or wish. I should like to do it with you. You want somebody's company in doing some project or something. So you are making a polite wish. I should like to do it with you. I should like to do it with you. And would is also used to make a wish or desire. I would like to convey my regards. I'd like to speak the truth on this day. So you are expressing a wish or desire. And should is used after lest. Lest, L-E-S-T. Lest means otherwise. For example, walk carefully lest you should fall. Walk carefully, otherwise you should fall. So it is used after lest, this should. Here would is used to make an intention. I wish I would meet her again. I wish I would meet her again. You are making an intention. Should is used to make an unfulfilled obligation. Unfulfilled obligation. A duty which was not fulfilled. It is unfulfilled. I should have invited him. Imagine you celebrated a birthday party. You did not invite that some X, Y. So you would say later, I should have invited him. I did a blunder mistake. I should have invited him. So should is used to express an unfulfilled obligation. And would is used to express past habit. For example, he would sit there and talk to friends. He would sit there and talk to friends. Let us go to the next slide. Must and ought to. You must learn this. It is a must. Strong obligation. Must expresses strong obligation. Even ought to also expresses obligation. Let us see. Let us go into this. Must is used to express obligation. Means duty. You must follow the traffic rules. Otherwise, there will be some problem. You must follow the traffic rules. Ought to is used to express duty. Ought to is also used to express obligation, duty, and at times moral obligation, moral duty. You ought to respect elders. Must is used to express you must take pills daily. Pills, I mean tablets. You must take pills daily. Otherwise, there would be some problem. Ought to also used to express necessity. You ought to work hard. And must is used to express determination. I must teach him a lesson. I am determined to teach him a lesson. I am determined to take revenge. I must teach him a lesson. Ought to is used to express fitness. It is used to convey fitness. He ought to know typing for this post. If you want to apply for this post, you ought to know typing. If you don't know typing, you are not eligible to apply for this post. So you are fit if you know typing. Otherwise, you are unfit for this post. Must is used to express probability. Someone must be knocking at the door. I heard knocking at the door. I heard some sound. So I would say like this. Someone must be knocking at the door. Please go and see. Someone must be knocking at the door. Ought to is used to express unfulfilled past obligation. Unfulfilled past obligation. You ought to have spent money judiciously. You spent money. You did not spend money judiciously. You are a spendthrift. So somebody says, you ought to have spent money judiciously. You must have spent money very carefully. You spent it carelessly. You ought to have spent money judiciously. The next one is need. Here need is used in 4 ways. One is as a main verb in the sense of require. Require. Chahiye. She needs money. She needs money. She requires money. The second one is in questions. Need I go with him? Need I go with him? In question also we can use need. With to infinitive. He doesn't need to go. He doesn't need to go. And it is used commonly with not as an auxiliary. It is commonly used with not as an auxiliary, as a helping verb. You need not worry about this. You need not think about this. Leave it to me. I am there. I will see to that. This is about need. And the last one is dare. It is used as a main verb in the sense of defying or facing boldly. Defying means refusing. He dared to speak harshly with his boss. He dared to speak harshly with his boss. It is used as a main verb. It is used as a main verb in the sense of defying or facing boldly. I dare not ask him a favor. It is used as a helping verb in the sense of have the courage to. For the same one, another example. How dare she talk like that? How dare she question me? How dare she come late to the office? So it is used as a helping verb in the sense of have the courage to. Hope you got this last model there. Now we will practice some questions. Get ready. I'm sorry. The last one is used to. Used to is used to express the past habit. Used to is used to convey the past habits. For example, Rajesh used to drink Boost. Rajesh used to drink Boost. Now he is not drinking. Drinking Boost was his past habit. She used to go for swimming before her marriage. She used to go for swimming before her marriage. After marriage, she stopped going for swimming. The swimming, which was her past habit, now she is not going. He used to smoke cigarettes. He used to smoke. Smoking was his past habit. Now he gave it up. Now he is not smoking. Hope you got where we use used to. Now let us practice some questions on models. Here are 12 questions, only in one slide. Let us go one by one. Are you ready? The first question. I dash help you in this matter, don't worry. I dash help you in this matter, don't worry. You are making a promise. So I told you, if you recollect, will is used to make a promise with first person. So here I is first person singular. So I will help you in this matter, don't worry. Now the second question. Sanjay dash speak 5 languages fluently. Sanjay is able to speak 5 languages fluently. Sanjay has one ability in the present. So Sanjay can speak 5 languages fluently. The third one, though she prepared well, yet she dash not succeed. Though she prepared well, she prepared very well. She expected that she would be successful in that, but she failed. So ability in the past. She could not succeed. She could not succeed. Even did not also accepted, but did is not modal auxiliary. Viewers, did also can be used, but did is not modal auxiliary. We are talking about modal auxiliaries. So the suitable modal auxiliary is could. Though she prepared well, yet she could not succeed. Now fourth one. He is not well. He is sick. He is not well. He dash attend the meeting. The chance of attending meeting, the chances for attending the meeting are less or more? Very less. More doubtful possibility. So, he is not well, he might attend his meeting. He might attend the meeting. More doubtful possibility. Chances are very less. Now coming to the fifth question. Kapoor dash go to gym in his 20s. In his 20s, he had one habit. That habit is going to gym. So now he is not going. Maybe he is old now. Kapoor used to go to gym in his 20s. So used to express past habits. So the answer is Kapoor used to go to gym in his 20s. Now the sixth one. If I were Prime Minister, I am not Prime Minister. I dash lift the lockdown. So unreal condition. Imaginary condition. If I were Prime Minister, I gave one example. If I were a king, I would make you queen. I am not a king, so I can't make you queen. If I were Prime Minister, I am not Prime Minister. So, if I were Prime Minister, I would lift the lockdown. The next one. Dash God help you in your endeavors. May God help you in your endeavors. You are making a wish. May God help you in your endeavors. May God help you in your endeavors. You are making a wish. Eighth one. We dash help the blind people in crossing the road. A blind man is trying to cross the road. As a human being, it is your moral duty to help him. You ought to. You ought to help blind people in crossing the road. So, we ought to help the blind people in crossing the road. Now, the ninth one. I dash like to speak a few words on this occasion. Imagine today we are celebrating some great personality's birthday. So, I would say like this. I would like to speak a few words about that great personality. On the eve of his birthday. On the eve of his birthday. So I would like to. I'm making a wish. I'm making a desire. I would like to speak a few words. So answer is I would. Now the 10th one. Armed personnel dash get cut their hair properly. Those who are working in defense services. They dash get cut their hair properly. They must get cut their hair. Must express a strong obligation, compulsion. You cannot hair grow like this as you wish when you are in army or navy or air force. So you must get cut your hair if you work in those armed forces. So the answer is must. Armed personnel must get cut their hair properly. The 11th one, you dash attend the school in time. You know, schools, colleges, they lay certain rules. They say you should attend school in time. You should attend college in time. Of course, you may get a doubt. Why not must? Must express a strong obligation. Viewers, I told you, must express a strong obligation. Here, it's not strong obligation. It is just obligation. It is just duty. As a student, you should attend school in time. Sometimes you may come late. We cannot do anything. So you should attend school in time. The last one. We dash more number of masks now. We dash more number of masks now. Now there is threat of coronavirus. So people are coming out of their houses with a mask. Masks are not available. There is so much of demand. We need more number of masks now. We need necessity. So that is about model auxiliaries, viewers. Hope you understood. See you in the next class. Bye bye.